Time had come, though, and she remained in her own bed. Like a heavy burden easing off her chest, she felt her body's weight dwindle as she set off on this profound adventure. Breathing became an important concept for her to consider. She let the weight fall several times before she finally decided to stop pushing it. The idea of holding her breath wasn't scary at all. In fact, it felt freeing in that extraordinary moment. With a chuckle, she let out a breath, thinking, breathing is overrated. She found it amusing that people thought they had to breathe. She felt extraordinarily alive at that very moment. The calming buzzing sound took the place of her heartbeat. Her own neural system was the source of this enchanting hum. It waned with time as her neurological system relaxed, as she drew close the finish line of her breaths. Dazzling light called out to her. Warm glow emanated from her brow, gradually expanding to engulf her in a reassuring glow. Like an old dear friend, the light seemed to be there. It felt as if thousands of suns were shining down on her, each one spreading a gentle, comforting light. It wasn't glaring, but rather it brought a feeling of warmth and safety. She gave herself up to this warm embrace voluntarily, feeling immense love and tranquility. Later on, she had the bizarre sensation of soaring over her bedroom while watching her husband work in the kitchen. Her husband had a general idea that she was sick, but he didn't know how bad it was. She had faith that he would recover, fall in love again, and start a new chapter in his life. The love he found would be different from the one they had, but he would be happy. Profound appreciation for her family and parents was another emotion she experienced. Thank you, I love you, and I appreciate you. The sentiment was conveyed with profound gratitude rather than a solemn parting. Not a relative but a mentor who would accompany her on her life's journey awaited her in this mythical region. Despite her young age, 29, she was completely unfamiliar with the concepts of life reviews, near-death experiences, and the stories that revolve around them. They looked back on important occasions in her life together, highlighting the times when her emotions were stronger than her ego. It was a dramatic feeling the first time her ego gained over, like when she was mean to a buddy in kindergarten. It was a devastating realization to feel her friend's suffering as her own. The purpose of this review was to delve into her human nature rather than pass judgment. As they progressed, she rediscovers acting moments that are filled with joy and love. She moved on to a new area after the life review, one that was dim but not totally dark. Nothing, not even a small light, appeared to belong there. It was as if four spirits were passing on wisdom to her as they took her through yet another adventure. It was a sacred and serene moment, like being handed a box of insight rather than spoken knowledge. With this newfound information, she felt obligated to do something significant. After the download was finished, she had a better grasp of who she was and their collective mission. She experienced an overwhelming sense of oneness with all people, accompanied by love, an unbounded perception of reality, limitless joy, and calm. It felt like ages, if not millennia, had slipped away with no discernible pattern to the passage of time. However, she became sidetracked, like an outside thought in this harmony. There was a light and a creature coming toward her. It was explained to her as her attachment-forming self. She felt this being go through her, and then she was back to the most fundamental truth, love. That was the turning point when she completely lost her identity as motto. Over time, her identity, her passions, and her life experiences began to dissolve, exposing her limitless spirit, which was at one with the cosmos and engulfed in an overwhelming feeling of love, joy, and tranquility. Profound and astounding metamorphosis began with this astounding realization. Her mind was filled with complex ideas as she continued to revel in the light of this new knowledge, and then she heard a voice that didn't use typical human language. The message was loud and clear. That remarkable place wasn't her place anymore. She felt a stronger calling to return to Earth and assist the downtrodden. Maybe she was reluctant to leave the profound feeling of oneness and joy she had just had. but she eventually gave in to this summons. It was terrifying to think of getting back to the intricacies of life. Despite the weight of the duty and the opportunity for great influence, she mustered the courage to embrace the calling as the message settled in her heart. It was more than just a step back to the real world. It was a leap of faith into the unknown. The cosmic hug gave way to the human embrace as she made the shift. Back on Earth, she could sense her own body's gravity, the passage of time, and the whole spectrum of human emotions. The tremendous burst of energy, a supernatural inspiration driving her ahead, hit her the second she made that decision. It was as though the cosmos had banded together with her, beginning a common path of empathy and metamorphosis. Her upcoming mission was monumental and deep because it was about more than just her personal development. It was about sharing the gospel of love, harmony, and enlightenment with everyone she met. She became an inspiration, a real-life example of how the human spirit can rise above material concerns and forge a bond with the holy. It was not simple for her to try to tell her spouse about this amazing encounter. It was difficult to describe and understand the depth of her experience. She battled anxieties and uncertainties, worried that people might think she was strange for sharing such an unusual tale. Still, the more time went on, the more she realized how crucial it was to get this message out there. Their joint objective, she realized, was simple but very significant. It revolved around exploring the depths of their existence and sharing limitless love with all sentient creatures. This realization was the last step on a path that had been her own personal enlightenment and development. It showed how we can all overcome our weaknesses and embrace our shared humanity, and it became a source of inspiration and hope for everyone who heard her story. We hope you will take some time to consider the story's message as it comes to a close. If you found this tale to be motivating, please like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate you seeing this film and hope that the profound message of infinite love it conveys